Okay, this is my 1997 Mercury Cougar. Not just any Cougar though. XR7. Yeah, this hasn't been on the channel yet, but I don't know, it's a 97, so it's the last year they made it. And I got it about 3 weeks ago, and I am about to change the speakers. You can see some new Scar Audio ones in there. I'm in college, so had to go with the budget option. I've done absolutely nothing to it. I got it for $2,900. Only has 110,000 miles, so it's a pretty good deal. The only thing, the reason I got so cheap was it needed an alternator, a belt, and a tensioner. So actually they were all like fairly new, so I just got them warranted at O'Reilly's and pretty much got all that done for free. Yeah, my favorite part is the tiny wing that would do nothing unless you're going like 100 miles an hour or even more. I don't even know, but it looks cool. So I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna open the speakers and show you guys what I got, and then we're gonna get to pulling the door panel off and putting a new sound system in this thing. You're gonna need some hexes, wiring crimp-on adapters, and I had to buy this special kit because I needed to buy. You have to have these very small ones. They are tiny. And I would have thought the speaker company would have sent these connectors, but they don't. So you have to buy them afterwards, that's kind of slowed me down on that door because I have to go out and buy these. But this door should go pretty quick. Should have done in 10 or 15 minutes. I'll put those up there, and obviously we're gonna need the speaker itself. I got brand new Scar Audio speakers. If I can ever get them out of the box. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about on the back, right here. There's that tiny little plug, and they don't give you any adapters. You have to cut the wire and then crimp on these two little plugs. But other than that, it's pretty easy. I'm gonna pull this door panel off, and to do that, all you need, flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna try to do it inside the car as much as I can because it's a windy day, and I know it doesn't come across well on camera. You just pop this little red thing off, just like that. And then take your Phillips head, and if you look, if the door will stay open, you'll see Phillips head screw. Pull that off, and then I'm gonna do that because it's a really long screw. It's strange, it takes forever. Then we have to pull this off and get the last bolt. There's only 2 mounting places holding the entire door panel on. Okay, so pull that little screw out from there, and that loosens that whole bottom corner. And then up here you can see I already started pulling this off. There's a series of probably 5 or 6 tabs that run along the edge. If you look down, you can see one of them right there, and then you literally just pull. It kind of seems a little scary. You got to be careful because it's 90s plastic or older. This car was the very last generation, last year I mean. So chances are most of the cars are going to be older than a 97. Okay, so that's the majority of it off. You got to fish it around the door handle. You got to open it a little bit, and it's a pretty tight fit. There you go. Okay, and there's all the wires and stuff. Very simple on this side. The driver's side had far more wires because they had window controls and locks and electric mirror controls. This, very simple, not too many wires. Either way, you don't even have to undo any of them. That is the next screw that we're going to be undoing. And all we're going to need for that, the Phillips head. And this is the only other fastener holding the entire door on. So it's really a pretty simple process. All right, it's still quite windy outside, but I got the screw undone right in the middle there. And then all you have to do is lift up on the handle and pull out. There's a bunch of plastic tabs lining the bottom and both sides that go back and down. So you may have to make sure to lift the door up before you pull out. but you'll feel it go. And then this, we don't want to unplug any of that, so I'm just gonna fish it through the hole, and then we can go set the door on the side of the car and get ready to install the new speaker. It's really going quick. The other side took a lot longer because of all the wires, and it was my first time, so this one is going a lot quicker. Okay, so all I had to do was lift the clips up and out of the door and then slide the control panel through its original opening. Now we can come set that there and finish up this. This is really the easy part. You just find the right little baby socket to fit on all four, pull that thing off, wire in the new one, and we're really cooking on this. I'm gonna use this just to save some time, but obviously any screwdriver and socket works. Okay, there goes the last one. Pull this little thing out, unplug it, which is going to be quite the challenge with only one hand, but a guy can try. Okay, chances are if you're replacing the speakers on your car, there's a reason for it. So I always like popping these off, the covers, and then looking at the inside of the speaker just to see what's wrong with it. And as you can see, this one is completely destroyed and delaminated. It's supposed to be connected the entire way around, like the other side. Oh no, it's all cracked. So this speaker was doing pretty much nothing except making horrible noises. And you can see that, look at that, it's all okay. Good thing we're replacing this. Okay, so the next step is wiring in the new speaker, which is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. You have to first buy the clamps or not the clamps, the crimp-on adapters for both plugs. And then if you flip around, you have to cut the wires. First you have to find which one is positive, which one is negative on a wiring diagram, or AI or Google. Honestly, there's a lot of different ways to find it. I just put it into AI, hey, which one is the which one's positive, which one's negative. Then you cut it, and then you crimp on the plug-in, and then you plug the new one in, and just it bolts right back on. When you're buying speakers, you have to make sure to buy the right size. These are 6x8s in this car, and I'm pretty sure that's a pretty common size, but it's definitely important to make sure. Another thing, these ones have like a tweeter in the middle, which helps with like higher pitch noises. This one doesn't, so this one is probably not, obviously the new one's better, but this one is definitely missing out on all the higher end noise, and honestly missing out on all the lower end noise because it's all cracked on the edge. So this should be a huge improvement and very noticeable. As you can see, I have the new speaker, and I had to crimp on the two connectors. Very easy. I just snipped, where did it go? Snip this little plug off, and in this case, the darker color on Ford and Mercury's, and I guess Lincoln's, the darker color is always negative, lighter color is always positive. And then just got those on there really good, and they should bolt right up. Okay, it did work for me. I got the wires, they were perfectly long enough, couldn't have been any shorter. I hope they don't bounce loose over time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I had to pull them pretty tight. Sorry about the wind, but we're just gonna do the reverse pretty much. I don't think you guys have to see this. We're gonna toss that back on, put the control panel on, and put the two screws in, and then we're gonna go to the back, which is gonna be the hardest part. Okay, I am now scrunched in the back seat, and we have to get these side panels off. There's one on that side and one over here. The way to do that, you just take a screwdriver, you pull out the bottom, and the bottom lifts up and pulls straight out from the top. As you can see on this side, I already did that, and I started removing these screws. They're exceptionally long and annoying to take out Phillips head screws. Okay, so I've just pulled this rear speaker out on the driver's side, and I have the two connectors right here. And the way Ford, Mercury, Lincoln, they all do it, darker is always negative. So in this case, brown and yellow would be negative, and pink and green is positive. So that being said, I'm gonna grab the speaker and wire this last speaker all in, and then we gotta give it a test. And that's the part I'm most excited about. Wow, my head is hitting the ceiling on this. Not a guy built for the back seat, being 6'3" and all. Okay, I finally got all 4 of these Phillips head screws in. The back is kind of a struggle just because there's not enough room to really work. But I'm about to throw this cover back on. Well, first I have to tighten them down, but then I'm gonna throw it on. We can finally test how the music sounds.